All right, so I have a quick problem for you guys, a word problem, and I'm going to show you how to solve it. Now, I've already worked out a problem already, but I want to go through the steps and explain it to you guys, right? So it reads like this. A ladder is leaning against a building so that the distance from the ground to the top of the ladder is 8 feet less than the length of the ladder. Now, find the length of the ladder if the distance from the bottom of the ladder to the building is 16 feet. So now the first thing you want to do is you want to get a picture of what's going on here, right? So the ladder is leaning against the wall. This is it here, right? And then it says that the distance from the ground to the top of the ladder is 8 feet less than the length of the ladder. We don't know the length, but so we're going to call it x. It's 8 feet less than the length of the ladder. So x minus 8. X take away, that means less than, right? And now we know that the distance from the bottom of the ladder to the bottom of the building is 16 feet, which I put here. Now, what that does is it shows you that this is a right triangle, and that you need to know the identities of a right triangle. So the first thing that comes to mind is the Pythagorean theorem, right? It reads like this: a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. And what is a squared, what is b squared, what is c squared? People want to know. So a is one of the legs of the triangle, which is, in this case, maybe 16 feet. B is the other leg, which is x minus 8. We don't know the length of it. And then x is the hypotenuse, which is the c squared. In this case, we don't know what it is. So we're going to set it up. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So 16 squared plus x minus 8 squared equals to x squared, which is the hypotenuse. Now we're going to put everything together. Right? 16 squared is 256. X minus 8 squared is x minus 8 times x minus 8. You can expand it using your foiling method. Go back to your algebra, and then it comes down to this. Now you have to put everything together. So 256 plus x squared minus 8x minus 8x plus 64 equals to x squared. Combine like terms. Combine like terms. So that is something that you learn in algebra, right? Like terms are terms that look alike. So 256 and 64 are going to be together. That gives you 320. Now, negative 8x minus negative 8x. So when you have two negatives, you add them up and you keep the sign, in this case, which is negative 16x. And then your x squared is on the other side. And you can cancel it by just subtracting x on both sides. This is how you move terms from one place to another one. Now, you are left with 320 minus 16x equals to 0. I'm going to jump on to the next slide or next page or whatever. So we have your 320 minus 16x equals to 0. So you're going to add 16x because you want to isolate your x. You want x on one side and the numbers on the other side, so that way you can solve for your x. So you add 16x, that means you're going to subtract it here and it's going to cancel out. So you have your 16x equals to 320 divided by 16 because you want to isolate your x. And then you're left with x equals to 20, which is the length of your ladder. And this is done. I hope this makes sense to you. If you have any questions, ask me. Thanks.